Evening all. Hope you can hear me loud and clear. Just do our normal test on the television. Yeah, sounds like I can hear myself, so I'm echoing. Hopefully you can all hear me loud and clear. Mic setting seems to be all right. Well, and the microphone as well as mic. Um, just have a quick check on various things. Everyone, Dave, Andy, dee. Yeah, yeah, Dave, nice one. I hate being young and fit. Uh, doesn't it be and drunk, not and delusional? Yeah, just a sore arm. Yeah, um, should have often should have offered him a rear end. He might have hurt so much. Um, Looks like most people are on just seeing if Jill's going to kick in, and then we'll get going. Uh, guess uh, a nice call from Bernie the other night, thanking us. That's quite pleasant. That was a nice call to have, and yeah, it's nice to be. I know you all appreciate it, and it's something to do with a Tuesday. Yeah, yeah. Lots of us are young. We're all young at heart, all young in the head. It's just the so just waiting. It's just the rest of it that tends to take its time to catch up with the brain. But then we have got some youngsters in our midst, like Scott and Tracy. Better say my wife as well. Oh dear. Well, not a lot to say. I don't think. I think we're all still in the throes of lockdown, all wondering when it's going to end. But I guess it'll be soon enough. Not before the end of March, again. If they send the children back to school, it's all going back to school. You're getting your general knowledge lesson. Yeah, Tracy's young. Yeah, you're getting your general knowledge lesson tonight. So it's like being on a school night, and except we can drink on our school nights. Cheers. Okay. If Jill joins in, then give her an extra couple of minutes. But I think, where are we? What's the time? 5 past. Yeah, I'll give it another minute, and then we'll get going. Normal. What we got for pictures? 61 on paper, 25 my mind. 85-year-old body. Yeah. Uh, do you get all those numbers right? 61 on paper, 85 in your mind, and a 25-year-old body. No. Or is that just for wishful thinking, Dave? Yeah. See, that's what happens when you stop going to the gym, and they go from a 25-year-old body to an 85-year-old body. Can't help it. Okay, I think we'll get going, and then we'll, as I say, if Jill joins in, yeah, Estrella, wine, gin, whatever. All right, let's get going then. First, first question tonight. Yeah, hearing problems as well, Dave. Yeah, we've all got those. Right. Okay, 76. Now, trombones lead the big parade. Is that a quiz question? Or is it 7 and 6? Was she worth it? A bingo. Right, question number 1 then. Here, let's get going tonight. Otherwise, I'll be whittering on about nothing as usual. Question 1. Out of Twitter, WhatsApp, Skype, and YouTube, what's the only one with a letter on its logo? So, question 1. Out of Twitter, WhatsApp, Skype, and YouTube, what is the only one with a letter on its logo? Question number 2. Large black, Berkshire and Oxford Sandy are what breed of animal? Large black, Berkshire and Oxford Sandy are what breed of animal? Question number 3. Which island with a population of around 180 sits off the coast of Northumberland by just 1 mile? So which island with a population of around 180 sits off the coast of Northumberland by just 1 mile? Question number 4. Julie Patterson was one of the beloved duo Two Fat Ladies. What was the other who died in 2014? And you have half a mark for a Christian name and a full mark for the whole name. So Julie Patterson was one of the beloved duo Two Fat Ladies. Who was the other who died in 2014? And I said half a point for a Christian name and a whole point for a full name. And nothing if you don't get any of them, as usual. Question number 5. What item is on the top of the men's singles trophy at the Wimbledon tennis tournament? What item is on the top of the men's single trophy at the Wimbledon tennis tournament? Question number 6. Which everyday object is collected by a philuminist? Philluminist. And it's not Phil's. So which everyday object is collected by a philuminist? As I say, that's Philluminist. Question number 7. Who presents the BBC quiz show Only Connect? And again, you have half point for a Christian name and a full point for a whole name. So who presents the BBC quiz show Only Connect? Half a point for a Christian name, whole point for a full name. I think it's one of Dave's likes. He says only connect with lots of mms after it. Yes, Dave. You should get the answer right then, for sure. Question 8. Here's going back a little bit. In the video game, what colour is Pac-Man? In the video game, what colour is Pac-Man? Probably many a misspent youth on Pac-Man when it came out after Space Invaders and all the others. Question number 9. With which newspaper did the Daily Sketch merge in 1971? So with which newspaper did the Daily Sketch merge in 1971? Finally, a nice easy one to end with in question 10 in this round. In which movie series would you find the Millennium Falcon? Question 10. In which movie series would you find the Millennium Falcon? Here we go then. Let's have a quick recap on those. So question 1 out of Twitter, WhatsApp, Skype and YouTube. What's the only one with a letter on its logo? Large black Berkshire and Officer Sandy, or what breed of animal? Which island was with a population around 180, sits off the coast of Northumberland by just 1 mile? Julie Patterson was one of the beloved duo Two Fat Ladies. Who was the other who died in 2014? I'll say half if you've got a Christian name. What item is on the top of the men's singles trophy at the Wimbledon tennis tournament? Question 6. Which everyday object is collected by a filluminist? 7. Who presents the BBC quiz show Only Connect? If you're not sure, ask Dave. Question 8. In the video game, what colour is Pac-Man? Question 9. With which newspaper did the Daily Sketch merge in 1971? And finally, in 10. In which movie series would you find the Millennium Falcon? As usual, I have my wonderful scorer here tonight. No, you can't see me because I've left the questions up. I'm hiding behind the questions. I have my wonderful scorer here tonight. So when we give the answers, we'll ping them through, and Anne will be here to do the scores for you. Okay. All right, send me back. Right, time for some answers, and here we go. So out of Twitter, Skype is the only one with a letter on its logo. Largeback Berkshire and Oxford Sandy are breeds of pig. So the island population of 180 sits off of Northumberland. Just 1 mile is Lindisfarne, or I'll take Holy Island. It was Clarissa Dixon Wright was the other half of the Two Fat Ladies with Julie Patterson. The pineapple sits on the top of the men's Wimbledon singles trophy at Wimbledon. A filluminist can anything to do with matches, so match boxes, match covers. So if you've got matches in your answer, that's the correct answer. 7. Who presents BBC quiz show Only Connect? That's Victoria Corinne Mitchell, but Victoria or Vicky or whatever you put, it's half a point. In the video game, Pac-Man is yellow. The Daily Sketch merged with the Daily Mail in 1971. And obviously, Millennium Falcon is in Star Wars. I'll leave those on there just so you can have a quick look. Anne's pinging away, so the scores must be coming through. So right, let's have a quick check. Oh, yeah. Dave Jones, 76. Oh, no, that was what you was talking about. It wasn't the score, was it? 76, 7.5. Yeah. 8. Jill said yes. Okay. Well, Jill can join in and we can give her an arbitrary score for the first round. Unless she's been watching on television. Okay, let's get rid of those answers. Here I am, back in the room. Or, well, I've not moved out of the room. Strange expression, back in the room. Who's behind me tonight? Oh, it's a... Oh, which way are you going to move? We have a bird on the calendar today. As we move into February. Okay, let's move on to round 2 then. Question number 1. On which 3 metals would you see a hallmark? So on which 3 metals would you see a hallmark? Question number 2. Which animal's legs did the griffin have? So in mythology, which animal's legs did the griffin have?
Jill's just joined.
Question number 3. In Cuba, what is a habanera? Habanera. So in Cuba, what is a habanera? Question number 4. Gerald Durrell was a director of which zoo? Gerald Durrell was a director of which zoo? Question number 5. What is signalled when a ship hoists the Blue Peter flag? Question 5. What is signalled when a ship hoists the Blue Peter flag? Question 6, you need to have a specific answer for this one. It's not a general answer, it's very specific. Question 6, where does voting take place to elect a new pope? So the actual specific place where it takes place. Where the smoke comes out the chimney. So question 6, where does voting take place to elect a new pope? Question 7, in which country are the Southern Alps? Question 7, in which country are the Southern Alps? Question number 8. Which TV antique dealer had sidekicks called Eric and Tinker? So question 8, which TV antique dealer had sidekicks called Eric and Tinker? There's a bit of a sleuth on the side, I believe. Question 9, TV ads. In a TV ad, Shane Ritchie knocked doors holding a packet of what? If you go back a few years. If you watch BBC all the time, unlucky. But in TV ads, Shane Ritchie knocked doors holding a packet of what? And finally, question 10 in this round, 50-50. Is Hong Kong north or south of the equator? Question 10, is Hong Kong north or south of the equator? So here we go. Nice short questions in this round. Yeah, get better on the screen. So question number 1, on which 3 metals would you see a hallmark? Question 2, which animal's legs did the griffin have? Mythology. 3, in Cuba, what is a habanera? 4, Gerald Durrell was the director of which zoo? Question 5, what is signalled when a ship hoists the Blue Peter flag? 6, Where does voting take place to elect a new pope? And I said it needs to be very specific. Question 7. In which country are the Southern Alps? Question 8. Which TV antique dealer had sidekicks called Eric and Tinker? So he was a bit of a sleuth as well. Question 9. In TV ads, Shane Ritchie knocked doors holding a packet of what? It takes back some time. And finally, question 10. Is Hong Kong north or south of the equator? I'll give you a few seconds on those. Right. Let's get rid of those. Oh, caught me leaning on my hand. Okay, answer time for round 2. And here we go. So, on which 3 metals would you see a hallmark? That's gold, silver, and platinum. Question 2. Which animal's legs did the griffin have? He had legs of a lion. In Cuba, habanera is a dance. Gerald Durrell was the director of the zoo in Jersey, where he lived. When the blue Peter flag is hoisted, the ship's about to sail. Voting takes place to elect a new pope in the Sistine Chapel. So it does have its uses apart from having a big picture on the roof, ceiling even. Question 7. In which country are the Southern Alps? They're in New Zealand. The TV antique dealer has sidekicks Eric and Tinker. That was Lovejoy. Shane Ritchie not under holding a packet was. He held a packet of Daz. Back in the old soap powder adverts, knocking on the door, getting you things whiter than white. And finally, Hong Kong is north of the equator. I'll leave those up there for a minute or two while you argue with me, or whatever you want to do, don't mind. All I know is I'm not in a round and you can't throw rotten tomatoes at me. Ooh, that's a bit. That was quite hard, that round. Yeah. Hi, Jill. Yeah. Yeah. There was 10 questions on David Essex, but you wouldn't have got all of them right, Jill. So don't worry. Let's get rid of those. Right. Pictures. I've done this one before. There's a couple of new bits and pieces in it, but not much. Thought 1 or 2 was a little bit maybe tough. Our pictures tonight, 12 pictures, and they are all on parts of logos. So I've done most of these before, but some of you may not have taken part when I did that one. So with any more to do, here we go. Right, they're numbered, they're not numbered. Literally go straight away across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. As I said before, sometimes a bit of problems getting numbers on logos. So they're parts of logos. Give you a few minutes, give you 10 minutes or so on those. Well, I'll go and see what's happening in the thing. I will take me down and give you a bit of peace and quiet. I'll put me on mute. Right, I'm back in the room. Well, I'm not back in the room. I'm behind this picture somewhere. Just click that on. Ready for some answers. And here we go. Don't have pictures, but we have some answers. Take that off. And answers. So, number one's Haribo. 2 is Gucci, the 2 backward G's. 3 is part of the IBM logo. 4 is the National Lottery, the I is. 5 is part of Pringles. 6 is Vodafone. 7 is KFC. 8 is the star of the Heineken. 9 is Nike. 10, NATO. I wouldn't have got that one, but I thought I'd put a tough one in just to see how many people did get it. 11 is UNICEF, not to be mixed up with whatever the one similar to it. WWF or whatever it is. And finally, 12, Shell. So Haribo, Gucci, IBM, National Lottery, Pringles, Vodafone, KFC, Heineken, Nike or Nike, NATO, UNICEF, and Shell. Now, beats pictures of people. I don't like pictures of people. Unfortunately, you have a picture of me coming up in a minute. And here I am, just by magic. So that's logos. Next week, we've got something different again. I'm actually a week ahead of myself. God knows how. It's because I've had a day off work. So I was so enthralled in not being able to go out, I wrote some more quiz questions. All right then. So all the answers are being pinged through and happily writing away and chugging away to make sure things are right. Okay. Now then, let's get going then with round 4. Nice and straightforward. Question 1. Which French author wrote Around the World in 80 Days and Journey to the Centre of the Earth? So which French author wrote Around the World in 80 Days and Journey to the Centre of the Earth? Question number 2. Which Italian city lies at the foot of Mount Vesuvius opposite the ancient city of Pompeii? So question 2, which Italian city lies at the foot of Mount Vesuvius opposite ancient Pompeii? I put extra words in my thing there it's thrown me. Question number 3. What was the original title of the Beatles' Hey Jude? Was it Hey Julie, Hey Jules, or Hey Judy? So what was the original title of the Beatles' Hey Jude? Was it Hey Julie, Hey Jules, Jules, or Hey Judy, Judy? It's one of those 3. So question number 4. What is the name of the fluid portion of white blood in which blood cells are suspended? What is the name of the fluid portion of white blood in which blood cells are suspended? We hear a lot about it these days of people wanting it. They want it donated to help with the lovely virus that we're all trying to avoid. Question number 5. Tralee is the administrative centre for which Irish county? Tralee is the administrative centre for which Irish county? Tralee. Question 6. What type of Australian eucalyptus tree is mentioned in the song Waltzing Matilda? So question 6, what type of Australian eucalyptus tree is mentioned in the song Waltzing Matilda? So all together now I can hear people all around Churchdown, Hucklecote, Brockworth, all singing Waltzing Matilda. And Dave, that's in your head for the rest of the night now, if you start singing Waltzing Matilda. So what type of eucalyptus tree is mentioned in the song Waltzing Matilda? Was question 6. Question 7. In the story of Peter Pan, Peter had to return to the Darling's house because on his first visit, he left without what? So question 7. In the story of Peter Pan, Peter had to return to the Darling's house because on his first visit, he left without what? Question 8. What colour is the bull, B-U-L-L, on an archery target? So question 8. What colour is the bull on an archery target? Sort of one or two colours. They're similar, except one of two answers. Question number 9. What was significant about the 7 p.m. kickoff between Newcastle United and Portsmouth on the 22nd of February 1956? So question 9. What was significant about the 7 p.m. kickoff between Newcastle United and Portsmouth on the 22nd of February 1956? And it wasn't the first ladies' football match. Perhaps I shouldn't say that, really. Ladies' football seems to be taking over. So anyway, what was significant about 7 p.m. kickoff between Newcastle and Portsmouth in 1956? And finally, question 10 in this round. Founded in 1958 by Sam Alpert and known for their Olympic breakfasts, which UK chain of roadside restaurants finally closed its doors in October 2018? So founded in 1958 by Sam Alpert and known for their Olympic breakfasts, which UK chain of roadside restaurants finally closed its door in October 2018. Here we go. Guess the questions are a bit longer. I can't get the type on the screen, so it looks a bit smaller. But just quickly run down them. Which French author wrote the Around the World in 80 Days and Journey to the Centre of the Earth? Which Italian city lies at the foot of Mount Vesuvius, opposite the ancient city of Pompeii? Question 3. Was the original title of the Beatles Hey Jude? Was it Hey Julie, Hey Jules, or Hey Judy? Question 4. Was the name of the fluid portion of white blood in which blood cells are suspended? 5. Tralee is the administrative centre of which Irish county? 6. What type of Australian eucalyptus tree is mentioned in the song Waltzing Matilda? 7. In the story of Peter Pan, Peter has returned to the Darling house because he is left without what? 8. What colour is the ball in an archery target? So you take one of two colours, they're very similar. Question 9. What was significant about 7 p.m. kickoff between Newcastle United and Portsmouth on the 22nd of February 1956? And finally, found in 1958, which roadside chain of restaurants closed its doors in October 2018? I'll give you a minute to digest those. Eat them if you want. Okay, here we go with the answers then. So, The French author that wrote Around the World in 80 Days was Jules Verne. Naples is the Italian city at the foot of Mount Vesuvius, which is near Pompeii. Hey Jude was originally called Hey Jules. It was originally named after Julian Lennon, but they changed it to Hey Jude. Not sure why. They probably tell you. The fluid portion of white blood in which blood cells are suspended is plasma. County Kerry, he has the administrative centre of Tralee. The Wolsey Matilda, they were under the Coolabah tree. Some sort of spelling of Coolabah. Might even have a K, not sure. Story of Peter Pan to return to the Darling's house because he left without his shadow. Colour of the bull in an archery target is gold or yellow. The significance about the 7 p.m. kickoff between Newcastle and Portsmouth is the first Football League match under floodlights. So that was at 7 p.m. So it was a 7 p.m. you had to focus on maybe a little bit there. And finally, of course, the roadside cafes that closed in 2018 was Little Chef. I'll leave those up there with me half appearing from behind the answers. Must write shorter questions. Note to self. And I can get them slightly bigger on the screen. Okay, let's take those down. Okay, as we're heading towards round 5 tonight, the last round. Just can't believe how quick every Tuesday comes around. I know it's a week, but it's yeah, it's just amazing. It just seems to fly by at the moment. It's all right. We have an interluder again. You wanna? You can go. Here we go. Smile for the camera. If you're on TV, you're famous. Famous Puddy Cat. All right, that's enough of that. Get rid of him. Go on, Paddy, go and have something to eat. You normally do this time of night. All right, then. Now we've had a brief interlude, and we've... It's all right, he's sitting here licking his lips at me. Do you want some lager? No? Okay. All right, then. Let's get on with the last round tonight. Question number 1. In which decade of the 20th century was the London Symphony Orchestra founded? In which decade of the 20th century was the London Symphony Orchestra founded? And he's quite old. Anne won't make an appearance on camera, but the cat will. Question number 2. In sport, what was Charlotte Brew's famous first? This is quite a popular quiz question. Probably goes back about 30 odd years now. But in sport, what was Charlotte Brew's famous first? Paddy's had enough of that. He's got to eat the scoreboard now. Question number 3. Which magician's wife wrote songs on Nat's life? She died in 2016, aged 63. So which magician's wife wrote songs on Nat's life? She died in 2016, aged 63. Question number 4. In 1979, which sitcom netted the highest audience of the year with 24 million viewers? Was it To the Manor Born, 40 Towers, or It Ain't Half Hot Mum? So in 1979, Which sitcom netted the highest audience of the year of 24 million viewers? Was it To the Manor Born, 40 Towers, or It Ain't Half Hot Mum? Question number 5. The Great Storm, which Michael Fish famously got wrong, was in the October of which year? That might set the memories going back a bit. So the Great Storm, which Michael Fish famously got wrong, was in the October of which year? Now all you got to do is remember where you were when it happened. And where was I? It's probably in Reading at the time. Question number 6. Which airline has its headquarters at Luton? Which airline has its headquarters at Luton? One of our everyday airlines. So which airline has its headquarters at Luton? So question 7, due to this lovely coronavirus. Question 7, the Chelsea Flower Show will take place in which month this year? It normally takes place in May, but it's been moved to when? So the Chelsea Flower Show will take place in which month this year? Question 8. Chris Whitty is the Chief Medical Officer for this country. Name any one of his 3 deputies. So just surnames will do. But Chris Whitty, question 8, Chris Whitty is the Chief Medical Officer. Name one of his 3 deputies. Only one of them, any one. Oi. The cat's having a bite at Anne because he wants to sit on the computer on the other side of the table. He's having a real hiss. Question number 9. There's a musical one for you, Dave, and I think everybody. When you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a little whistle. Whistle? Can't even say it. Is a lyric from which song? So when you're chewing on life's gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle. Is a lyric from which song? So Dave, I think this one will now take over from Waltzing Matilda for you to start singing for the rest of the night. So when you're chewing on life's gristle was the last question. Your last question tonight, question 10. In which European capital city would you find the Tivoli Gardens? Question 9. In which European capital city would you find the Tivoli Gardens? And that is your last question tonight. So we will, as usual, bing, put them up on screen. What's Dave? What's his? Is Dave sending rude messages through, is he? Don't know what you're going on about. Dave? No. Oh, Dave, it's given me an option to show or hide. I'm not sure what you said. Let's show it. Oh, I see. That's what we put. Music question. Oh, well. 2 little boys. Okay, sorry. I detracted. I'm sure you've been reading the questions while I've been reading what Dave's put. Stop it, Dave. So question 1, in which decade of the 20th century was the London Symphony Orchestra founded? 2, in what sport was Charlotte Bruce famous first? Question 3, which magician's wife wrote songs on That's Life? She died in 2016, age 63. In 1979, which sitcom had the highest audience of the year, 24 million viewers? Was it To the Manor Born, 40 Towers, or It Ain't Half Hot Mum? 5, the Great Storm we Michael famously got wrong was in the October of which year? Question 6, which airline has its headquarters at Luton? The Chelsea Flower Show will take place in which month this year? Chris Whitty is Chief Medical Officer. Name one of his 3 deputies. Anyone, just the surnames will be fine. 9, when you're chewing on a lice gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle, is a lyric from which song? And 10, in which European capital city will you find the Tivoli Gardens? Right, so I think you've probably all seen those while I've been chundering on and wondering what Dave's put. I don't know why they blocked that about 2 little boys, Dave, but maybe it's not a good topic to bring up. So here we go then. Final answers tonight. So, in what decade was the London Symphony Orchestra founded? It was in the 1900s. It was 1904 to be precise. Well done if you got that one right. In sport, what was Charlotte Bruce famous for? She was the first female jockey to ride in the Grand National. Victoria Wood was the magician's wife who wrote songs for That's Life, obviously. She's married to the great soprano. Question 4. To the Manor Born grossed 24 million viewers in 1979. Obviously not a lot else to watch that night. Question 5. The Great Storm with Michael Fox was in he got wrong famously in the October of 1987. EasyJet has its headquarters at Luton. The Chelsea Flower Show will take place in September this year. Chris Whitty's Chief Medical Officer, so you could have had Dr. Adam Fowler, Dr. Jenny Harries, or the one that we all see most of, Professor Jonathan Van Tam. So Van Tam, Fowler or Harries will be absolutely fine, anyone. No bonus if you got all 3, but you've done really well. And of course, when you're chewing on lice gristle, don't grumble, give a whistle, is always look on the bright side of life. And the Tivoli Gardens you'll find in Copenhagen. Right, hands poised. Obviously, you're quicker than I am at pinging all the scores through. Oh, he's back. Who is it? As you can see, we've passed another hour on a Tuesday night. Hopefully, it's not too... I'm glad you're all joining in. There's a little bit of banter and a little bit of fun going about. It's the way it should be. It's not designed to be serious. We're all here for another month at least, maybe longer. I'll try to keep bringing up newish questions as much as I can, but we have to litter them in with a few of the old ones, otherwise it would just be impossible to write new quizzes all the time. Yeah, but so hopefully everyone's enjoyed it again tonight. I certainly have a bit of fun. Score's not too bad. Scott's not had a good night tonight. Obviously, Scott was answering the questions and not Tracy. So, okay. A great storm happened the night my daughter was born. Was that in 1987, Dave? Or is that... Scott? Oh dear. And, sorry, I know it was a bit tougher this one, but occasionally they are tough rounds, and occasionally they're easier rounds. But there we go. We can all sing a song. 39 out of 52, Dave. Is that right? Anne will tell me if that's right. Great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Didn't seem to have too many problems with people losing connection tonight. I know it's been quite bad around this way. There's been a lot of people saying that they've lost the Virgin connection quite a lot. It's okay, Chris. Much appreciated. No problem, Mick. Honestly, it is fun. I mean, Anne enjoys it. It gives us a break. It's difficult, as we all know, being locked up in our own homes for hours on end. So if there is a bit of light at the end of the tunnel, that's yeah, we'll keep going. You never know. I just look forward to that one day when we can all sit in the club and do a quiz and have a bit of fun together. Anne has got the scores on the doors. Here we go. So Andy, not a good night tonight, with 27 points. Scott, not a good night either, 32. And circled the one, I can't see it. 8th place, 33 points. Jill, 34 points for Bernie. In 6th place, where are we? We don't have a 6th place, it appears. Looks like 5th place with 40 points. We have, oh no, Chris and
3 at 30.
Chris, Linda, and Steve all had 38. Jules had 39. And tonight, it looks like Mick had 40.5. So, well done, Mick. Nice to see you back on the winning trail. That's how it should be. I must remember to keep sending the answers across so that... No, I'm only joking. So, anyway, thanks, everybody. Another enjoyable evening. Hopefully it's not been, as I say, too onerous. We'll all have a drink. We'll all get in our jabs eventually. Those of you who have had them, well done. Hopefully you can get yourself out and about a bit more once the lockdown comes along. So anyway, take it easy, and I will see you all next week on Tuesday, round about the same time. Thanks a lot. Good night, everybody. Ending stream. End.